What's up guys, live here with Pro Play Games at the ARG Dragon Ball Super Regionals. This is the second ever regional and we have our second champion here. What's your name and what do you play?
My name is Jorge Fernandez and I played blue, green, yellow Mecha Frieza.
Nice. So this is one of the brand new leaders from the draft box. Kind of go over roughly what this card does.
So basically it lets you take a life to reduce the cost of a spell you're playing by one, which is completely nuts and broken because you can do things like play objection on turn one and you always have mana open for any of your reactive spells. Like if playing blue, green, yellow Ginyu, you always have to like leave a yellow up if they threaten sell, so you're always playing like 1 to 2 turns behind. With this deck, you just jam your threats on curve and you always have stuff up to protect yourself anyway. And then this card is just nuts with Mecha Frieza. It turns this card into like Pot of Greed if you play Yu-Gi-Oh!
Okay, so that's what it does on the first side. It just reduces it by 1. The second side, pretty much same exact thing, but reduces it by 2, so objection for free, etc., etc.
It's almost never relevant on the back. The back, you want to try to use it as little as possible.
Okay, cool. All right, so let's go through the extra cards that you utilized for this deck. Now, Cold Bloodlust, first one. How was that card?
That card was really good or really bad. It's really good when it saves your ass. It's really bad when you don't have any good targets for it, and it just rots in your hand. It's more of a necessity than something I like to include in the deck.
Okay, next one, Encouraging Presence Monaka. Now this is a card that we did not see zero play before this event, and now once Mecha Frieza became something, you saw this all over the place. How was this card?
That card's bananas. It's almost as good as Objection. It's basically the second best proactive spell you can be casting. It's just 0 mana, draw a card, take a damage, and that's insane in this game. Unless you manipulate your life total really easily.
Awesome. All right, next card we're going to talk about Wish Coercion. I guess we don't have to talk about it. It's great, but a lot of people this event were deciding to side negates. Did you ever have this in your mind to take this out or
hell
use
no.
it?
This deck is really weak defensively. It only plays like 10 1 mana 10Ks in the whole deck. So if your big thing attacks you, you just have to negate it, or else you're going to be discarding your entire hand to it. Also, this card is insane with Mecha Frieza. You take a damage, you can untap a land, and then you can use that land to defend yourself for the rest of the game, or energy, or whatever you want to call it. So this card's extra good in Mecha Frieza, I think.
Okay, no explanation here. Obviously a yellow leader.
Yeah.
Sensu Bean, also relevant, I guess. You could untap mana.
You can untap 2 mana for 0 mana and take damage. This card's also pretty insane. I mean, I actually cited it out against Cell most games because they never go wide, and I can't, like my buddy's playing a red version of this deck that can use this card much more aggressively to like play like Go Tanks and then untap 6 lands and then play a Babidi. Did that a couple games. Some stupid stuff like that, but I never get to do that, so it's just a defensive spell for me.
And then Objection.
It's nuts.
Yeah.
Every game you cast it on turn 1 makes your opponent want to kill themselves, and if you ever cast like 2 and then play like whatever and then jam before drop the next turn, it's just ridiculous.
Okay, so for the creature spells, obviously the 4 Boos, great for cycling your deck. Now, 2 Go Tanks. How was this card? Why'd you only play 2? Would you wish you played more? Would you wish you didn't play it?
I mean, it started at 4. I ended up cutting a couple for this package down here. I don't know. This card is always a card that's just medium at best. I wasn't too impressed with it today. It was good a couple of times. It's good to get like the last card out of their hand, but I almost never won my games through like attrition like that. I almost always won my games through just having a million stuff in play while they had nothing. So this card was medium at best.
Okay, cool. And then you had the this package of Gohan and Piccolo, which we haven't seen at all anywhere. Pretty interesting. I guess the idea is to just bring out Piccolo and reduce your opponent's hand size so that you win the the hand advantage battle. So so for this guy, he has double strike and he's 4-drop. Did you utilize him at all? Would you continue playing him? How was he for the tournament?
I cast him a few times, and he was good when I cast him. The issue with that guy is he is kind of just worse than the rest of the deck. The only reason I put him in is I needed more proactive things to do. I needed more creatures I could put into play, because if you notice, like every other card in the deck, with the exception of the 5-drop, is like completely reactive. This is one of the few proactive things you can do, and oftentimes I just find myself sitting there with 5 mana and nothing to do. So that guy's insane in that situation.
Alright, Yu-Gi-Oh! 1K players.
This card was insane in Hartford,
Hear your name.
but every deck right now is playing
Please come up to the
objection.
stage.
This card's way worse against objection decks, and the decks that aren't playing objection are like playing
Nick
spell.
Convery.
So he was
Andres Espinosa.
underwhelming.
Boris Borikov.
But I wouldn't cut any
Nicholas
more green cards.
Ortiz.
Is the issue.
Christopher Kelly. Blair M. Hunter. Avery Foster. And
How was
Frank Nicola.
how was Bundle of Curiosity actually?
I think I would probably make room for a 4th, just because it's very good. Like most of my games, the best games I had, were when I went objection turn 1, charge a green land, then play another guy, and then play a Bundle of Curiosity and energy boosted Majin Buu, and then I just like have some early game stuff, some fodder for Kale, and yeah, that's like I said.
Kale, something that I think was a breakout card here. Everybody was pretty much jamming it in their green decks.
Yeah.
How was this card?
This is the best card in like the whole game. It's between this card and the red one Gohan promo, the one that like attacks and draws you a card. Between those two cards, I think one of those two cards is definitely the best card in the game. If you jam a Kale early against one of these Bloodlust decks, and they have to Bloodlust it to like save their guy or whatever, you get to keep your guy so you don't sack anything. And it's just like a huge 20k beater that pressures their life total because it has critical. It draws you a card when it attacks a lot of the time. It's just insane. And it combos for 0-5000, so it's also good on defense.
Awesome. And then you played 4 of the Tournament Pack 2 promo Gohan. Now this card's pretty hard to get access of, but it's very similar to Beerus, but for green. A little bit weaker on the offensive side. 15k versus Beerus's 20. Doesn't have the double strike, instead has critical. How was this card performing for you in the deck?
The card's very situational. You need him because sometimes you just need to kill something that Kale can't kill, like a Cell. That's what basically he's there for. The fact that he's weaker on the front is kind of bad. Like being 15k is really bad in this deck. But I can't play Beerus, not because I'm not playing enough blue mana, more so because I need green cards that I can charge. The deck does not play enough green cards. So I charge him a lot. That said, he's nuts when you have somebody like... There were a lot of results decks, result training decks that just sit there at 8 life and then result, and then you have to grind your way down. And these 2 critical guys help you take them from like 8 to like 3 without them ever drawing a card.
Yeah, critical, one of the better mechanics in this game. And then you had the Super Saiyan Gotenks along with the energy powered Gotenks, so you did have the ability to evolve there. Did that evolve ever come into play, or were you just playing this as just a 5-drop all the time?
That guy has evolved. I honestly did not even think about that. Not even once have I ever even thought about doing that. I don't know if it's probably bad. But no, that guy's insane. He's the best green finisher in the game. He's like the reason to play green aside from Kale. So the only thing he's bad against is the other Mecha Frieza decks, because you can't just jam him because he'll cold ballast you and leave you tapped out. But otherwise, he's great.
Awesome. So this was the full 60 side deck. If you want to go over it really quick on top of these, I guess.
Yeah. So I played 3 of this card. I didn't board it in a lot, but when I boarded it in, it was really good. Basically, you want to board this in against Cell, and I boarded in a couple of copies in against the Android deck in the finals because they play like their 2-mana androids are 3 mana once they're in play, so you can usually get them with that. It just helps you flip yourself. It helps you kill their huge guy before you can play a Gohan. That's all I can really say about the card.
Okay.
This card was good against the Saiyan Kappa decks, like the Trunks deck I faced in top 8, I think it was, or top 16. It just like blocks their attack, kills their Kappa or their Value Idiot. It's pretty good. This card I only boarded in a handful of times. I boarded in against red decks mostly, stuff playing Jiren. It was also good against the Android deck. This card was the best card that I had in my sideboard all day. I boarded it in almost every single matchup, and I'm going to find room for it in the main deck. It's going to be tough with the colors to make it work, because I have to cut either blue cards from already light on or green cards from already light on. But this card's insane. It's just It blocks their attack, it leaves an attacker in play, or in some matchups just another 10k combo in play. It's really stupid. Especially in Frieza, where you they're already under so much pressure to kill your board because you're killing all their Beerus's and stuff with cold bloodlusts. And then this card's just okay. There was a ton of Sun Goten Family of Justice at this tournament, which is why this card really underperformed. But he's really good if they're not prepared for it. Against any red-green deck, or against any deck that just wants to attack you with a bunch of guys, this guy is a stone wall, like a brick wall. They can't get past this. And Jiren also struggles with this guy.
Excellent. Well, it looks really good. Any notable things from the event that you want to say? How was your performance, your experience, the deck, anything you want to say?
No, I mean, it was fun. I felt in control most of my matchups, except until I got into the later rounds, and then they were kind of harder. The only person I felt like I couldn't beat was the person I beat top 4, which is my friend Colin, who's playing a red version of this deck, and in playtesting he just stomps me every game. But he beat me in the Swiss. He was my only loss in the Swiss, and then I was his only loss, well, until he lost in the battle for 3rd. So yeah, his hubris got him, I guess. But
well, awesome, man. You have now became the 2nd ever Dragon Ball Super Champion, and this is your 2nd top. So consistency for sure, and you performed excellently, and hope to see a lot more from you in the future. And congrats again.
Thanks, man.